christianpop.com, and this is Blues and Bullets on the PS4. I guess this has been out on PC for a little while. It's an episodic adventure game. I put that with a question mark at the end, so I'm not really sure what the game wants to be half the time. But anyway, it is, yes, it's an episodic style thing. Because it's been out on PC for a little bit, the first 2 episodes have been brought across to PS4 now, and then the 3 more episodes in the series here will be coming along later on. So this is not at all based on true anything, but it's based on real people. Elliot Ness, who put away Al Capone, and Al Capone, who was Al Capone. And the deal is that this is a sort of 50s era murder mystery kind of thing, or mystery kind of thing. There is this creepy dude that is kidnapping children, and one of those children happens to be Al Capone's granddaughter. So that has led Al Capone to call on Elliot Ness to find out what's happened to his granddaughter and rescue her. And so they're the original odd couple, like the murdering criminal and the guy who put him behind bars. Isn't that hilarious? So yes. So that dude is Al Capone's right-hand man, the guy that just left there. And I am Elliot Ness, and this thing has just started out for me, this board dealio. But up till now, it's just been very generic, very much like a Walking Dead style adventure, walking around, seeing items in the scenery, interacting with them in a very, very base kind of way. It's very straightforward, very linear, and there's a few choices in dialogue, but most of them turn out effectively the same. There's just a couple of key choices which will spark your usual, that character will remember that you made a critical decision, because you have to be reminded of these things. There are also some points so far in this game where you have to do some terrible cover-based shooting, but hey, there was terrible action scenes in the Telltale games as well, so when those turned out right, okay, those tend to turn out okay. This not so good for my taste, but I think we'll see why. So this dude, this fella, this unfortunate strung-up man over here, was the guy that forged a lot of documents for Al Capone and appeared to forge documents for his granddaughter's abductor in order to get into boarding school and snaffle her away. Apologies if there are minor spoilers, but there's no real way to cover this stuff without spoiling games a little bit. And so yeah, hopefully we won't play too much here. This is slap dab in the middle of episode 1, so not too much.
Christ, what the hell are we up against?
Something nasty. Oh, so this is new. I've got to look around here. So I'm using the right stick to look around.
His eyes were
see what's going on there.
Their sockets. Whoever did this, it wasn't their first time. And if they committed any other murders like this, it's likely that the police found some of the bodies.
You'd think.
I must remember to ask Alice.
Yeah, so Elliot Ness is no longer on the force. He runs a diner called, appropriately enough, Blues and Bullets, and that's why he doesn't know the goings-on with the police
His teeth
anymore.
were all pulled out before he was killed. The buildup of blood inside his mouth speaks for itself.
A clue! Okay, so I found all there is here. So now I'm going to find all there is in the other stuff. It's not exactly too difficult in the way of, there's not too much here when it comes to detective work. So there we go, that's my clue.
Boccarini's teeth were all pulled out.
So I can use the clue? Use clue. And then I put it in there. There we go. Jolly good. Okay, so now I've got to find another clue about mutilation, I guess.
The blood comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall.
That's my other clue, so then I get that, and I put it in the board.
Trail of blood from the dining room to the hall.
Oh, no, it doesn't fit there. Oh, no, I screwed it up. So I gotta find another clue. This reminds me of, the detective stuff that was in Murdered Soul Suspect. But that game was a little bit more
The evidence suggests
in
that the
depth
events
with this
began in
stuff.
the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer?
Maybe I can put that in there. Can I? Is it going
The
to fit
trail
in
of
there?
blood from the dining room to the hall.
No. Oh well. But yeah, I do like the thing of stringing together thoughts. It seems, if anything, like the game was built around this sort of investigative stuff. I like the idea of like detective work in video games. Oop. Oop.
What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off?
But his hand got cut off, you see? But his hand got cut off. Do you think?
Blood. Blood everywhere.
I think he chopped his hand off.
During the struggle, or was it already broken?
Let's see, does this work?
A blood-stained wristwatch with a glass
No.
broken into...
I bet it's mutilation, sir. Mutilation, so it is. Over here.
A
He
blood-stained
clearly got
wristwatch
his.
with a
No? Okay, alright, well. He clearly had his hand chopped off and his watch fell off as a result. Don't listen to me,
This was
Elliot
opened
Ness.
recently.
You see, Elliot Ness has struggles with alcoholism. And I don't know. In one of the hammiest scenes earlier on here, another little spoiler, he's sort of sitting there. One of the key decisions I've had so far in this game was like there was juice and like a bottle of wine next to each other on his table, and you had to choose which one he wanted to drink. And he was like, oh no. It is comical how like hammy and amateur dramatics most of the rest of this game has been so far. So it's nice to have a kind of a slower, more thoughtful scene here.
Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside.
You think? But
Something under there.
still, again.
How did it wind up under there?
What do you maybe you kept it there? It seems a lot. You even see at the top there. Oh, one or two things interacted with. It's very, very, very much. You know, holding your hand through all of this. So, I don't know. Then again, this is episode 1, so maybe it steps up a little bit. You know. Beans. Five beans. Let's see here.
What is it with Italians and olives?
Oh, olive.
They lap those things up like
Yeah,
caviar.
because it was black and white. That's the thing. The black and white thing gets to me in a little way. Not because they haven't done. You know, it just feels like this isn't a black and white game for the sake of being cool, or you know, because it enhances things. They've done it simply because they saw Sin City and they thought it looked good. You know, it's like, wow, red blood on black and white. It's kind of been done before, and it kind of, with this and the fact there's like these terrible action scenes bolted on, it doesn't really know what it wants to be. I think that's like the biggest issue here. Okay, so I assume things just disappear when I'm done interacting with them. But I've interacted with the beans. The olives, rather. There be no more olives to interact with, and I can't... Right, oh, I can move? Oh, okay. Alright. Go on in. Yeah, fuck.
I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one.
No, I drank the juice.
2 of water, 2 of wine.
So he knew it was the same.
Like a true bachelor, he should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccarini's too worried about that.
Yeah, yeah, as I was saying, like the...
Leftover lasagna, and it looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks?
You know, the fact that there's even a counter of, yes, well done, you've interacted with everything now, it does feel like, you know, you're just fulfilling the quota. You're hitting every single button that you can. Alright, so let's look at the board and let's see where things fit in here. Do I have anything for mutilation? If that isn't mutilation and that isn't, then none of these are, so sod that. Alright, let's go assault then.
A pistol,
gun.
fully loaded.
Yeah. What's that?
A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside.
No, we don't need that.
Dirty plates, glass.
Don't need that.
Pieces of glass from the window
Maybe.
in the hall,
There you
found
go.
inside the house. A broken whiskey glass, found in the dining room.
No? Okay. Why is the broken window an assault and the whiskey glass is not?
A trail of blood from the dining room to
No.
the hall.
Blood is not a clue of an assault. Okay.
An open bottle of whiskey.
What?
I'd say Boccarini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window.
How? Oh
Boccarini pulled his
my
gun,
goodness. Okay.
but the murderer
Well, whatever.
disarmed
At
him
least
before
it's
he
not
could shoot.
penalising me for the wrong
Where did
answer.
the
So.
torture begin? A blood-stained wristwatch with the glass broken and the strap. The trail of blood from the dining
There we
room
go.
to the hall.
No? Okay. No torture. The blood is not the
Broken whiskey
torture.
glass found in the
No.
A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside.
No.
Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from it.
No. Okay. No. See your jumps. Okay. Let's walk around this way. Yeah, I mean, from obviously it's reaching to every noir stuff ever, you know, and a lot of cinematic tropes. You go through a dream sequence and it's just every single one of the guy's thoughts relayed in big massive text as you're walking and taking cover behind the letters and the scenery and that kind of thing.
Must have been really heavy, or maybe it was thrown extremely
And then
hard.
just as a video game, it's like, well, are we trying to be Walking Dead? Or, you know, it's like all sorts of stuff from, like I said, like the Telltale games, and then stuff like Murdered Soul Suspect or Condemned or really bad
Perfectly
cover
circular,
shooters.
as if someone tried
And
to hand
it just
gigantic
doesn't have
bolt around 4 inches
much of an
diameter.
identity of its own, and like the identity that it's had so far has been in really bad voice acting and scripting.
Fingernails scratched the wood.
Or maybe not even bad voice acting, but like bad direction. It really does seem like in a lot of these instances it's, you know, it's kind of like, okay, you didn't want to do another take on that one? Huh. You want to read that one more time? Really? So yeah, I'm either capturing right now some of the best bits of the game or some of the worst bits of the game, depending on depending on your predetermined viewpoint.
Blood ran like water.
There's actually like one of the lines that made me laugh out loud is like your friend or Al Capone's buddy that's with you throughout this game asks you about what you put in your blueberry pie. It's like, do you use almond extract? And he's like, yes. What brand? And Elliot Ness does a dramatic pause and goes, I make my own. You had to be
2
there.
pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table.
Okay, that blood is a sign of torture. The other blood,
A
no.
broken table, scratched and covered in blood.
Yeah, there you go.
The bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccarini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position?
He took him there.
The trail of blood from the dining room to the hall. A broken whiskey glass.
Yeah.
Dirty plates, glasses, and silver. A door in the kitchen, locked from the inside.
Let's go back around this way. I think I probably missed something or other over here. See, I only got 2 out of 5 of the clues because I didn't know I could move around. There's bits of this game as well that do look nice. No, I'm not saying that this looks pleasant. I'm saying, you know, it's well sort of rendered. But there's something in the... partly in the filters and definitely in the animation, which looks incredibly awkward.
Hands were ripped off. Who has that kind of strength?
And just kind of has... it's, you know, it veers from... sort of amateur dramatics of like overacting. Even like this dude here, like, you know, you see him creeping into shot of just like him waving his hands in the air as if conducting a magic spell, but I'm so deep in thought I must convey that. You know, it's a sort of cross between like overacting and like sort of Terry Gilliam stuff or Thunderbird stuff, you know.
Looks like the bottom of a glass.
Oh, bottom of that whiskey glass, probably. Charming. What do we got over here? Nothing? Okay, the game's telling me I'm missing something. Oh,
Maybe he won't last till Christmas, because he'd almost passed for a tree. There's no doubt the murderer took his time.
You see what I mean? It doesn't quite... It goes for noir and doesn't quite get there, you know? It goes for noir like melodrama, but it's played too straight, you know, to... It feels like pastiche a lot of the time. You know, I keep on thinking of, like, Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, you know? That's what it really feels like. But, yeah, it doesn't... It's not tongue-in-cheek enough, I don't think.
Boccarini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them?
Great.
Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from it. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass. The lamp, torn off its brackets and blocking.
Yeah.
A broken
It's so unclear what the game's logic has been so far. That I'm just trying everything and everything. That's quite a lot of blood there. Which way? Which way? Let's look at this first. The spoon.
Blood and some kind of sticky liquid.
Oh. He's been eating syrup.
A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of sticky mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccarini's eyes.
Ew.
The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest 2 possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it?
I think it was a psychopathic cult.
Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from it.
Okay.
A door in the kitchen, locked from the...
No.
A broken whiskey glass found in the dining...
No.
What looks like
Cups.
the bottom of a broken glass buried... The lamp. The lamp. Torn off...
Surely not. No. Okay. Yeah.
Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the 2 of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen.
What could be in there? Something unpleasant, no doubt.
Oh, shit.
Ew.
I should have stayed in my diner.
Seems pretty cultist to me. moving by themselves. Now what? Oh, something in there. How can I physically... Oh, I'm moving the camera. Okay.
Are these teeth from the body?
Okay, so the hand was
At least
moving
I know
around
why
it
his
by
teeth were
himself.
pulled out, more or less. What is that? Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in?
Alright, let's put that stuff on there then.
A sick altar of human flesh. Some kind of symbol drawn in blood. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it?
Alright, now we just need to find a clue to a lynching. Move pretty slowly. I'm gonna hold down circle, and he just sort of does a sort of Brock Lesnar shuffle, but like animated. He doesn't move any faster,
This
really.
car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility
I would assume there was a murderer in the house.
belonged to Boccherini. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from it. The lamp, torn off its brackets. What looks like the bottom of a broken
I
whiskey
thought
glass. The door in the kitchen, locked.
The table was a hint to there being someone else. Someone else?
Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way.
Ooh. Da, 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 da.
Let's take a look in the glove compartment.
Might be porn in there.
Bingo. A man's cigarette case.
Oh, the cigarette's gonna fall out.
OB. One of the Boccherini clan?
Okay. There we go. So we can do the carpet. Down here.
The initials OB on a cigarette case. A car with Vermont plates. 1. It has Vermont plates. 2. It's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3. The initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house.
Oh, now
Dirty
you
plates,
say.
glasses, and silverware from a
There you go.
dinner. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's
No,
guest
two
still in
other
the house
people.
when the murderer showed up?
Because there were 2 dirty plates, and then the other plates.
A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. What looks like the bottom of a broken glass. It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house?
Still in the house, still in the house.
The door in the kitchen, locked from
Still
the
in the
inside.
house, Ted.
The door in the corridor jammed shut.
Here we go.
One locked door could be a coincidence, but 2 locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors.
Don't. Basically, does this work
The
there?
lamp, torn off
Yes.
its bracket, Boccherini,
It-
already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama.
to Ness. Can you open the door for me?
Where'd that gun go?
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me. Boccherini had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccherini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccherini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands. I have no idea how he did it, but all the evidence suggests he just pulled. Blood sprayed everywhere. The wristwatch fell to the ground. He dragged him
I
through
have
the corridor
supernatural
to the
aspects
hall.
in here, I suppose.
He tore down the lamp, hung him from the brackets, and stabbed steel rods through his body. He skewered him on the iron bars, possibly taken from the fence outside, and pulled out his teeth one by one. Finally, he scooped out his eyes with a teaspoon. Boccherini must have been dead when the murderer went to the bathroom with his hands in his teeth. There, he arranged them to make an altar, weaving the fingers together and placing the teeth inside. Next, he painted something on the wall in blood, a symbol which I don't recognize, but which could have some kind of ritualistic significance. When he'd finished his artwork, he left. I don't know what he did with the eyes.
You're telling me that someone did all this armed with a teaspoon?
More or less.
And you worked all this out on your own, just by looking?
More or less.
I don't know which of the two of you scares
Yeah,
me
you see, oh my goodness, just like the facial animations here are
What about the
just
guest?
way off.
Right, come with me.
And really creepy. So it's kind of like Heavy Rain, or that quality of sort of acting and writing and direction that's in Heavy Rain, without the sort of technical wonders of Heavy Rain. So it really all comes out incredibly awkwardly.
This must be
That
Boccherini's
said,
office. Let's take a quick look around.
I just enjoy doing that detective work quite a bit, and a good bit more than I have done the rest of the game. The first hour or so of Blues and Bullets is embarrassingly terrible. But yeah, if there's more of this detective work, then that might be cool, I guess. But yeah, this stuff, the dialogue stuff, yeah, not a big
You're at
fan.
a crime scene, and you sit down to read?
Titus Andronicus. One of the actors on the Hindenburg lent it to me. They're performing it soon. You couldn't ask for more appropriate reading material. Murder, mutilation, torture. Shakespeare's got it all.
Why'd you go to jail?
For murder, but...
Why did you go to
Of
jail?
course.
I was saying,
Of course I
gesticulate wildly.
But I didn't intend to.
We've lost the only lead we had to help us find Sophia Capone.
You think Boccherini's murder could be related?
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Don't help any, then, obviously. Okay, alright. Well, I'm going to carry on with this, but you guys aren't, because I don't want to spoil too much. But anyway, Blues and Bullets is, the first 2 episodes of it is out now on PS4, also out on PC. and maybe other consoles as well. It might be out on Xbox One actually. But yeah, at best a mixed bag so far. So you're going to want to stick around and check out the fuller review with fuller thoughts on kaijupop.com in the near future. In the meantime, I've been Chris Charlton for kaijupop.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.